G'day guys, my name's Sam. Today we are going to do an epic Minequest how to draw tutorial. But before we get started, I just wanted to do a quick promo for my Kickstarter I'm running right now. Now you can back this project in a range of different ways. $1 simply to be in the credits, or $5 to experience an exclusive screening of the show before anyone else. Now if the money is not raised, the project does not go forward, so it is crucial I get your support. There's a range of different rewards for those who back higher as well, ranging from t-shirts, even to a life-size Charles plush toy. Any support is thoroughly appreciated, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. To find out more, click the link in the description below. If not, click the link at the end of this video. Alrighty, so today we're going to be drawing Steve. Steve. Epic Minequest 6 Steve. Alright, so we're going to break down into a range of different things. All you need is pen, paper. That's it, basic stuff. You can even just go outside, get some dirt, get some sticks, draw that stuff into the ground. Right now I'm going to draw it digitally on a program called Adobe Animate. Like I said, you can even just draw it with a mouse in MS Paint. Okay, so what I like to do to start off is just draw a basic sort of very small version of what I would like the drawing to be like. And what I'm thinking is maybe having Steve in some kind of, because he's got his cape and he's the hero of the story, maybe have him in some kind of like hero-like pose. So we'll have him standing up, maybe have his foot on a block of dirt or something. This doesn't have to be good, this is just to sort of give you the feel of the pose of the character. Hands on the hips, maybe he can be looking into the distance like a typical cliche hero. I don't know, we could do something like that. Anyway, that's a good way to get started. We know what we're doing now. I like to go a lighter color here, maybe in just a red or something that really sort of stands out, it's a little bit different. We're going to basically draw this same what we've just drawn but bigger. Just going to sort out the proportions of the character, so the size of the arms and legs and all that sort of stuff. It's pretty straightforward with the Minecraft characters. You know, they're basically just built up of, you know, cubes more or less. They're just really rough, and you can refine this. You should be drawing this with maybe a pencil if you've got one. Like I am drawing real loose right now. I'm not even thinking of it 3D too much. I'm just trying to get the shapes down. I should be even using a bigger brush, but it's okay. So this is looking pretty bad at this point, but you have to bear with me because it's all part of the process. It seems I've drawn it a little bit big too, but that's okay. We can resize. The beauty of digital art. This is looking good though, it's starting to take shape. Again, you just don't want to focus too much. This is really loose, just to get your idea down. And just to sort of get everything in the right shape and size, because we'll refine this very shortly. Just got to get all the lines down before we move forward. And I'm actually going to skip the shovel for now, just because I'm going to be playing with the arms and all the other limbs briefly. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Well, at least to the stage where we know what we're doing with it. Doesn't look very 3D though, right? So we're gonna start, like, this cube is 3D-ish. So let's start looking at how we're gonna do that. Right now, all I'm doing is flicking from brush to eraser. And erase the lines I don't want. Draw down over the top of the ones that I do like. You pretty much just repeat this process until it starts looking how you want it to. This is always a difficult sort of little area. See how the pants... I can't say I've actually worked out the perfect way to do this, but you can see how, like, this is like the inside of the leg, this is like the outside of the leg, this is the front. Let's do a triangle for the front. This is the front triangle. What happens there? If the leg raises up, it gets like, the shapes just seem awkward and really, what do you do? Like, do you draw the butt and have that come up like this? Does it fall over like that? It's just makes it really difficult. So there's a couple of little tricks that I don't know, just got to feel it out. I'll work it out. I'm just going to draw it until it starts to look right. That'll do for now. Just kind of doing a bit of a Russell Coit here, but his head is looking a little bit silly. So we'll slowly break into this. It's just not sitting on the head properly. So I mean sitting on the body properly. So what we'll do is we'll break that down there. Just focus on the body now. We can always draw the head after the body. So pretend that doesn't exist. Just completely deleting him. Arm coming forward-ish. Now this will be interesting. Let's have a think. Alright. Sometimes when I'm drawing these characters, I actually draw them as if they weren't a Minecraft character first. Just to get a bit of a feel for what... It's actually easier for me. Just to, you know, find out which way the body parts they're facing. So right now, this is obviously that part of the body, like that. And this comes down to his elbow and forearm. And then you've got your regular arm, your bicep, also known as, and your tricep. And then, right, so that's a little bit more muscular, deliberately so I can sort of see the body parts. And this will be a nice guide for me. Yes, we're getting it now. I think I'm starting to see it. I've got this, boys. I mean, the best thing about this particular style as well is it's all bendy and it's all cartoonish, so you can break a lot of rules, like drawing rules. Torso up a little bit on that edge, just because he is lifting it. Like when you lift your shoulder up, your whole, like even my left shoulder goes down as my right arm goes up. So I want it too much bigger than the shoulders itself. He does have a big block head, but. Yeah, so we're just going to finish off and flesh out the head. I'm doing like the front part, which is kind of like this, which will just pretty much be a square on a small angle. And then you draw the other side of the square. Now we're starting to see the shape come together. See, I don't like how wide that head is. This is looking good. All right, I'm pretty happy with how this is coming out. T-shirt line. Do we want to go to the extreme of adding fingers? I think for the sake of the tutorial, we'll keep it pretty simple. But if we really wanted to, we could, you know, draw some fingies like that, and maybe a thumb. We'll go like that. We'll leave it for now, but I think for the next step, I might skip that completely. And these legs, so we'll get rid of that. We know what's going on now with these. What I do is I draw a little, almost like hooves. But we'll make that look nicer with some fold lines. Okay, and we're done for that one. Next step. Now this, you can actually skip this step if you are a confident artist. But basically, I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna maybe fast pace it a little bit. I will show you the start of it. Actually, let's break it down. Step 1, rough drawing. Step 2, fill out that rough drawing in a larger sense. And this is going to be step 3, where we're actually going to add most of the details, but it's not going to be the final artwork in that regard. It's not going to be the cleanup. This is just a more refined sketch, if you want to call it that. I like to zoom in on this. If you're digital, if you're doing it traditional on pencil and paper, you can zoom in by just looking closer to the screen or piece of paper, of course. So I'm using a darker marker here, brush, or whatever. And yeah, just sit tight and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so we're going to take a quick look at how this has turned out. Thank you for your patience. Kind of happy with it. There's a few tweaks I want to make, but from conversion wise, it's looking pretty good. You can see it's a lot more stylized and a little bit more obvious about what's going on. As far as what shapes or what, you know, that might be shaded because it'd be a little bit darker as the arm bends around there. But all the general shapes are there. Okay, so I'm happy enough with that. You can see it's modified a little, like just flicking back and forward. It's converted itself a little bit. The more I look at it, the more I'll see little bits that I sort of want to fix up. But at the end of the day, you can be a perfectionist forever, but better finished than perfect, as they say. Whatever, mate. Stop. Whatever. I'm not drawing anymore. we're going into the head. So I'm going to give myself a little bit more shape here so we know we're working on basically a flat plane. Couple of tips and tricks here. And this is, I use this one mainly if I'm animating. I try to find the center of this square here. And I put, like that would be the center there. What you want to do then is then move this to an actual square. Sometimes harder than it looks. We'll draw our little crosshair in the middle. Now I can draw the face on this, and this is... bear with me 1 second. Now, if you're a digital artist, this works. If you're a traditional, on paper, this will not work. But I've just grouped this, right? Broken that down. Drag it over. I hit Q, which is just a skew. And I'm holding the vertex points here. I'm just dragging, and then you can just skew the face so it fits a little bit more. See, it didn't actually work as good as I had hoped. See, I don't like this at all. Mostly because the hand's covering most of the head. And I'll actually modify this whole top of the head now. That's not too bad. Looks like he's got a lot of back head. A lot of side head going on. A lot of side head. Too much side head. Face is okay. Starting to feel it a little bit more. So remove that. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. That's pretty good. Okay, I'm not too upset with this. What I'll do now is draw the hair. And we'll have a lot of space for the hair, which is fine. But it's also windy. See how the wind is sort of like pushing the cape back? So we'll also implement that into the hair. And we'll break up the hair a little bit. Normally, it's got a pretty certain pattern of the way that it falls. We're going to do like a little curve like I'm doing here. One trick that I always like to know where I want to place the ears is you grab your ears, the top of your ears, and look right up, and you pull your fingers around and trace. And what you'll find is your eyebrows will trace right around to the top of your ears. And so that basically gives you an understanding of which way or where to start your ears. You can do the bottoms as well, depending on how much you want to, depending on this type of cartoon style you're going for. And so my bottom of my ears go to the bottom of my nose or the top of my mustache. So we can do that. He doesn't really have a nose. If he did, you know, where would it be? Something like that. So we'll do something similar. If you could imagine that to go straight to the edge, that to go straight to the edge. Make sense? Yeah, man. How cool. I don't know. It helps me when I'm drawing cartoon characters or even more realistic sort of art. Okay, cool. Happy with that. Beautiful. Now he has obviously a big space here, but that's the way the characters work in Minecraft, Minequest. Don't sue me. You know, he could actually have a mouth this big if he wanted to. That's this is the reason I love cartoons, you know. Just be such a loud mouth. You can do literally any sort of mouth you want. We'll go into more detail right now. Now, let's see our process. We started off with this little drawing. We moved on to a rough sketch, basically of filling out the shapes and the sizes of each arm, leg, body, head, cape, block, all that sort of good stuff. Then we got into a more refined drawing. You see his head shrunken a little bit. We are next going to go into what I like to call the stylizing side of things. This is the cleanup. This is, you can mess with line weights and you can, change the color of your lines and you can do anything you like. I'm going to go into more examples, not today, but in future tutorials. So check those out. There will be a playlist down below. I'm going to be releasing these videos, once every couple of days, maybe once a week, in lead up to the succession of the Kickstarter. If it does get complete, I really need your help, guys. I'm not even joking. Otherwise, no more Minequest, and maybe no more YouTube. We'll see. We will see. Maybe I'll get onto the vlogs. No, you're right, mate. What I've done here is I've turned on an onion skin so I can just see what the previous frame is. And I'm going to use that as a little guide as I go down and trace the details. You can zoom in 200%, you can zoom in 400%, oops, that's 5, 400%, nice, and you can go into as much detail as you like. You can go thin lines, thick lines. You can have so much fun. This is actually my most favorite part of the job. The process, I should say. I love doing nice, smooth, clean lines. For those of you who want to know my settings, I have smoothing set to 40. I have pressure sensitivity on. I'm just using regular brush size at 18. Bear with me, and hope you enjoy the ride. Let's have another look at how it's all come along. We'll do first step, second step, which is this one here, obviously fleshing out the body, which I really like that one. Going into the second sketch, getting out the details, the fold lines, the facial expressions. You know, the wind we notice is coming through, so the hair and the cape is flapping in that direction. I actually screwed up the grass, but you could see that in the final production, I actually fixed it a little bit. Again, not so much the line weight, but it is all traveling in that direction like the wind is. For all of these, even the cape tied around the front. I won't be doing all the coloring in this video. I will be doing it in a future tutorial, and I might skip a couple of these processes. So what I need you guys to do is comment down below who you want me to draw next. Is it Enderbra? Is it Creeper? Is it Charles? Who knows? But I do need your help with the Kickstarter, even if it's just $1. I'm almost at 1 million subscribers. Imagine if I just had each of you just donate $1. It would have really helped me out. We're currently sitting at $2,829. 48 backers. Like I said, you can just get into the credits. You can get the movie exclusively early. You can get t-shirts, hoodies, plushes, all that good stuff. Link in the description below. Your help is needed. If you want to see Epic Minequest, do it, man. Help us out. Otherwise, who knows what's going to happen. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, hope you learnt, and I'll see you next time. A couple days. See ya.